Who cared about heat when there were stars to count? Only there weren't any. Maybe stars were only in the country, like mooses.
It's kind of tough counting stars in the city. They're up there, but we just can't see them. Really? It's like trying to count stars during the day. There's too much light. We can't turn it on, George. Don't want to knock out all the power.
At least his star counting pad was good for something. George was too hot to sleep. The one time he could have stayed awake, and there weren't any stars to count.
Huh?
People had their windows closed, and their air conditioners were on.
Oh.
George could hear them hum. With all those people using air conditioners, it couldn't hurt if George turned theirs on. He'd only turn it on just long enough to cool a little monkey. There was only one thing for a monkey to do at a time like this. Hide.
George? The power's out. George? Where are you? George? You up here? Uh-huh. Hi, Compass.
George tried to tell the man with the yellow hat how sorry he was for wrecking the city's electricity.
Oh, you think the blackout is your fault? Oh, George. It takes more than one little monkey to cause a blackout. I hope.
Oh, hello. Just came up to check on the pigeons. This blackout's really something, isn't it?
Uh-huh. George thinks it's his fault. He turned on our air conditioner.
I thought it was my fault, too. Honey was so hot, I turned on our AC. Then the lights went out. But the radio said it was really caused by ants.
Ants?
Carpenter ants chewed through some poles in Ohio, and the lines went down.
Well, George, there's one good thing about a blackout. You can use this.
George hadn't even thought to look up. This seemed like even more stars than they had in the country.
That's not the only good thing. These'll melt with the freezer turned off, so I guess we just have to eat them.
You found the Big Dipper.
George settled in for a good, long, relaxing star count.
The world was full of surprises. But George never imagined anything like this. This was the museum's first robot exhibit.
So, what do you think, George?
Ooh.
So, easy or what?
I want 10.
This one has a delicate enough grip to perform surgery or do this.
Ooh.
Now, over here are examples of what people imagine robots would be. This is where we'll put your rare models. You will have them here before the opening tonight, right?
Oh, sure, I'll bring them back after I take George home. Thanks. Here, you can drive the Mars rover out.
Wow! Hunley sure loves that.
Okay, George, I have to take that with me. Thanks. I'll see you later.
I never knew Hunley liked robots so much.
That's how George got the idea to make a robot for Hunley to play with. It worked. Hunley thought George was a real robot. Being robotic for a whole hour was tiring. George was ready to get out of that thing. But he didn't want to ruin it for Hunley by letting him see the robot wasn't real. Since he couldn't reach the button, George decided to relax and wait till the elevator came.
Oh, hi, Professor.
Hi, I just came to pick up a small red robot.
You mean the one in the lobby?
He said 2 inches tall, but I guess he meant 2 feet.
There was the elevator. Finally, George could go home.
Uh-oh, I left it right here.
Oh, no. Someone must have kicked it. Check the floor.
I don't think you could kick that thing across the room.
Oh, sure you could. It's only 2 inches tall.
You mean 2 feet?
I know the difference between inches and feet, Professor.
There's a runaway robot upstairs. It's small, red, and says XF-17 on the side. You got the controls?
What controls? It has no moving parts. George, Professor Wiseman brought you to the museum because she thought you were my XF-17. Yeah, your outfit's so good you almost ended up on exhibit.
Hey, that's a great idea.
Huh?
We promised an XF-17 model. We never said it wouldn't be monkey-powered.
And that's how George became a museum exhibit for a day.
Thanks for helping me with the Nature Week exhibit, George. We'd like to see the tracks of all the animals that live around here. The swim mask? Oh, I'm gonna go jump in the lake to conduct the Nature Week fish survey. Bye.
George wished his photos were more exciting, but there weren't many exciting animals around here.
Hey, George! What you doing? Wow, I see you've got almost every local animal except that fawn I've seen in the hills. A fawn is a baby deer. Bet you don't see too many of them in the city, huh?
A fawn was just the special, unusual animal George was looking for.
Come on, I'll show you where to find it.
George still hadn't seen the fawn or learned what its tracks looked like. These were the biggest tracks George had seen so far. Something extra large must have left them. They looked like big duck tracks. A big duck would make a terrific photo. This was like the long track the garter snake made. A giant duck with a snake's tail would make an even better picture. But a huge snake with duck feet would be the most incredible photo of all. Maybe it swam back home. George remembered he'd seen big tracks like these in a book. There they were, dinosaur tracks. A duck-billed dinosaur. And the tracks were headed towards Bill's house.
Hiya, George. Did you see the fawn? Yeah, I guess those do look like dinosaur tracks. Yep. My new boots were hurting my feet, so I put these on to walk to the lake. I told you I was going swimming, remember? Hey, now I know what it's like to walk in a dinosaur's footsteps.
With no hungry dinosaurs around, George still needed that